Today I'm going to be talking about cellular transport. There are two main types. There's passive transport and there's active transport. One uses ATP, which is active transport, while the other does not, which is passive. To start off, I'm going to be talking about the types of passive transport. First, I'm going to talk about diffusion, which is the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Next is osmosis, which is the movement of molecules over a semi-permeable membrane from lower concentration to higher concentration. Similar to it is reverse osmosis, which is the same thing, but an applied pressure is used to overcome osmotic pressure. Next is facilitated diffusion, which uses a protein carrier. Particular molecules can bind to special protein carriers in the plasma membrane. The protein carrier helps the diffusion process and does not require energy. The molecule is released on the far side of the membrane. Protein carriers transport only certain molecules across the membrane, but will take them in either direction down their concentration gradients. Next is the types of active transport. To start off is endocytosis, which is when the cell membrane engulfs material and brings it into the cell. These are the kinds. There is phagocytosis, pinocytosis, and receptor-mediated endocytosis. Here shown is the plasma membrane, which is engulfing the materials and bringing it into the cell. And then this is the extracellular fluid, this does the same type of thing. And brings in the instead of bringing in materials, it brings in the fluids, and then this brings in the solids. Next is exocytosis. It's when the cell forms a vesicle around the material that needs to be expelled from the cell. The vesicle is transported into the cell membrane. The vesicle membrane fuses with the cell membrane and releases the contents from the cell. Next is the sodium-potassium pump, which is the sodium-potassium pump binds 3 sodium ions in a molecule of ATP. The splitting of ATP provides energy to change the shape of the channel. The sodium ions are driven through the channel. The sodium ions are released to the outside of the membrane, and the new shape of the channel allows 2 potassium ions to bind. The release of the phosphate allows the channel to revert to its original form, releasing the potassium ions on the inside of the membrane, which sodium and potassium are moved against their concentration gradients. Next is the proton pump, which protons are pumped against the gradient. This drives the formation of ATP, shown here. Following that is coupled transport or cotransport. Cotransport is when the action of one proton pump creates the electrochemical gradient to power another transport protein. The natural flow of hydrogen ions back is sort of sucks in the other desired molecules, shown here. Those were the types of cellular transport. Thank you for watching.